Oh, yeah. I'd kill you if I had my gun.
Yeah, well, you don't.
Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest action figure video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk about the nerdy news that you need to know about. It's the only news that matters. It's good news. So let's get to it. First up, McFarlane DC have shown an image, a teaser image of their Grifter action figure. Much like Hush, this dude just looks cool. Whenever you get a full kind of mask covering sort of face, it gets away from the uncanny valley look that I think a lot of DC characters are prone to. Stop me if I'm wrong, it's that whole NECA thing. It's so good, it's too good, it's not quite right. It's good, but it's not right. Whereas this guy with the cloth mask coming down, always thought that was a badass design. Now, of course, the big caveat with all DC McFarlane figures, no guns. Grifter's main thing, pew pew, he's a shooty guy. But no guns, but I'm not going to harken on about that because we know. But it still feels egregious every time, so it is what it is. You're going to have to just buy some extras yourself from various third-party places. You can go online, you can get 1/12 scale guns, no problem. You can figure it out, it's all good. I'm not going to sit here and teach you how to suck eggs. The bottom line, though, is that Grifter looks really cool and might open up the door to more Wildcats-type figures coming in soon, so that's a fun little prospect. So no official word on price and release date, but we know that the price is going to be around that $20 mark and the release date probably sometime around the spring, so look out for him. Next up, sticking with McFarlane DC, we've got Johnathan Kent, Future State Superman. Now, you know me, I'm not going to pretend to know much about DC. That's not my wheelhouse. Often we wonder what is, but still, this is another Superman figure that, I don't know, I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, it's got like the jaw that Salma Hayek was making fun of with her action figure, where she's like, what is this? Do I look like this? That's kind of like, he's got this big. There's a difference between having a square jaw and having a derpy jaw. And I think that might be kind of derpy. What can I say? I like my Superman's classic. But if you are a Superman completist, then I'm sure he's going to be in the right kind of category for you. But still, it's up to you to judge. I'm not going to tell you what to think. Then we got some more official pictures from The Flash and Godspeed, dropping in June this year. Again, going to be about $20 depending on where you shop. Shop around, you got the choices. So Flash is straight out of the TV show, and Godspeed, again, is he a hero? Is he a villain? I don't know. I'm guessing villain. He looks kind of villainous to me. With a name like Godspeed, you know that's going to be carrying a bit of an attitude with it. But I think that the McFarlane DC Flash figures, they look kind of cool, especially with the articulation you can get with these. You can put them in some cool running type motions. It feels like there's some energy behind them. I used to have the Red Death figure, and kind of like with a lot of McFarlane figures, you were able to he was sort of pre-posed to an extent, but it was a good pose, and you did have the articulation to play about with it, but you didn't really need to because it looked awesome. And these two guys, yeah, they look pretty awesome too. Now then, it's time for another good news, bad news thing. Good news, the Marvel Legends team had a live stream yesterday. Bad news, it was about 3.75-inch figures. Who keeps buying these? And how can we stop them? It's alright, I appreciate there's something for everyone. If you're into 3.75-inch scale figures, then more power to you. For me, that's not my sweet spot. You know me, I'm the 6-inch scale kind of guy. But they did reveal a few figures. If you're interested, here they are. So they gave us a look at Thor, The Thing, Green Goblin, and Black Widow. Now, I will absolutely agree, there is a certain kind of nostalgic retro vibe to these, which I can appreciate. These are definitely the kind of things that you won't unbox. You'll have up on your wall in their nice bright packaging. I can see the appeal in that regard. I'm not going to be too harsh. So yeah, they look nice for what they are, but you know what we're after. It's the proper Marvel Legends. I saw on one of the Marvel Legends Facebook groups, like, people do clickbaity videos. I've done clickbaity videos before, but someone put up a video with like the thumbnail headline, new Marvel Legends revealed in live stream, Thor, The Thing, and I'm like, dude, you know that you're not giving the impression of what it actually was, that it was 3.75 inch. Have some integrity, sir. I'm not going to, at least someone should. But still, they also showed off in hand the Hawkeye and Kate Bishop figures, along with the Ultron Build-A-Figure, the Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure. So you couldn't get a really good look at them, but it still gave you a slightly better idea. The Infinity Ultron, the Infinity Ultron. You can't destroy the universe without having fun. I put the fun in Infinity. So he's got a gigantic lance. That's going to look pretty darn impressive. Very domineering on the shelf. I still don't know how kind of plasticky he's going to look. I really have yet to be convinced. But it looks okay. But then Kate Bishop and Hawkeye, they actually look pretty decent. Again, you couldn't get a close look, but it seems like the renders that we saw, there's a good chance they've been well translated into the actual figures. So those are going to be two to look out for. Hiya Toys are continuing their Judge Dredd line. This is the 1/18th scale figures. So again, not exactly what I'm after, but they do look kind of nice. Going in to help complete the Dark Judges, we have Judge Fire, who is exactly as you would expect. Looks like a judge who is on fire. Actually, pretty damn badass. Very Ghost Rider-y. I think that looks really cool. If it was in 1/12 scale, then yeah, I'd be very tempted to pick that up. And also Judge Giant, who I'm not familiar with. I don't actually read 2000 AD. To be honest, when I was a kid, it looked cool, and I sort of flicked through the pages, and I was like, no, this looks too scary and weird for me. I don't like it. And then I just never went back to check it out. I'm sure there's some good stuff there. So I'm not familiar with Judge Giant, but it looks like he probably shares a lot of similar sculpting with the Judge Dredd figure, which makes perfect sense. And yeah, they both look kind of cool. No word yet on release date or price, but if you are a Judge Dredd collector, these are two more to look forward to. Okay, if you've been saving up a lot of money recently, I hope you've been doing that specifically to give it to Sideshow, because they're about to raid your wallets. First of all, hot off the press, they revealed their Gwen Stacy Ghost Spider statue, and oh my goodness, it just looks so beautiful. It should do for $600. $620 if you want to get the Sideshow Special Exclusive Edition. It looks so pretty though. I'm kind of glad that it was a statue, because when I first saw the images, I thought it was a 1/6 scale action figure. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to buy that. I can't afford to buy that. Now I know it's a statue. Whew. I can rest easy. But just looking at the pictures, I love to just gawp at pretty things, and that's just such a pretty thing. The detailing, the paintwork, the design, the sculpt. Sideshow never disappoint. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. But I'm just putting it out to you. Take a look at these pictures. Golly, that looks pretty amazing. Pure Arts are about to bring us an Assassin's Creed character whose name, hang on, let me butcher this. Ivor Varinsdottir. Probably nothing even close, but if you're an Assassin's Creed Valhalla player, then you would probably know a heck of a lot better than I do. Looks very impressive. 1/6 scale, huge amount of accessories, cloth, soft goods. If you're a big-time gaming fan and you got into this franchise, you might want to get him. He's going to cost you 250 clams, but you have until the third quarter of next year to save that up, so you can start squirreling away now, or just stay at home and keep playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I hear it's really good. It certainly spawned at least one very cool 1/6 scale action figure. Are there going to be any more? Well, depends on how well this one sells and how many people have a spare $250, $260 lying around. I can guarantee you, I'm not one of them. If I did though, I would probably be buying more Marvel Legends or G.I. Joes. Oh my goodness, the G.I. Joes have my heart right now. Sideshow have revealed images of their Dirty Harry action figure, 1/6 scale, and with all the bedecked out accessories you would expect from Clint Eastwood's iconic cop on the streets of San Francisco saying, "Go ahead, make my day." It's so funny that I think the vast majority of people in the world know that quote, but don't actually know what it's from. I think for the longest time in my life, I didn't know what it was from until I was old enough and I watched Dirty Harry and I was like, oh, that's where the quote comes from. This is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, capable of blowing your head clean off. Really cool movie. If you haven't seen the Dirty Harry movies, go out and give them a try. They're fun. They hold up as hard-boiled action movies. It's a good time. So this figure's going to retail for $275, and he's going to be available between December and February. So go out, pay the money, put him on your shelf, and he'll clean up the mean streets of your Detolf cabinet. Mattel now. Yes, we're on speaking terms again with Mattel. We're not going to forget about Jurassic Park Gate, but we're still going to cover their products, and they have hinted at some new Masters of the Universe figures. We've only seen silhouettes that were shown on Pixel Dan's channel, I think. I want to try and give credit, but I'm just forgetful as to where I see stuff. But I think this was Pixel Dan who got this reveal. And so far there's just speculation on what they are, and I don't know my Masters of the Universe. So I think Toy News Eye did a little feature, and this is who they think they are. So by the looks of these silhouettes, they are guessing that first of all we have Trapjaw, then we've got Sunman, followed by He-Man with a 200 times power sword. I don't know what that 200 times power sword is like in reference to. Obviously it's a story, character design. I don't know. You don't come here for facts. And then finally, it looks like we're going to be getting Teela. So keep your ear to the ground, or more to the point, keep subscribed and hit that notification bell so that you can see me regurgitate the news that I find from other people. That's the circle of life. Amazing Yamaguchi have shown images of their black suit Superman. This guy looks really cool. They've already done the blue, so this is a variation on a theme, kind of like with the Iron Spider. We got the red one, and then we got the red and gold, and then we got the black and gold. I almost tripped my own brain up there. Not difficult to do. So now we've got the black costume Superman, all the multiple heads as well, all the multiple different hands too. So you've got a lot of different posing options. And even though the Revelatech, I think they sort of lend themselves often to more kind of mechanical sort of looking characters because of the weird joints. For whatever reason, this kind of dynamic, super articulated, weird looking Superman, I think it just works. It just looks really, really cool. Don't know why, it just appeals to me on that certain level. I've been playing around so much with my Yamaguchi cable. Oh my god, I love that guy so much. Genuinely one of my top 10 figures at the moment. But this Superman looks equally good. So you're going to be able to pick him up for $109 around about June of this year. The Good Smile Company are going to give us figures of Sans and Papayrus from Undertale. Undertale is one of my favorite games of all time. That's not exactly a bold statement. Loads of people love Undertale. Not everyone. It's not universally loved, but it's not exactly going outside the bubble to say, you know what my favorite hipster game is? Undertale. It's like, yeah, loads of people love it, Dave. You're not really proving anything by that. Stop trying to be a fake hipster. All right, fine. But I will say these figures look really, really fun. They've really captured the quirky playfulness of these two characters, which isn't too difficult, I guess, because they're just made in very pixely art to start with. So smoothing out the edges and turning them into three-dimensional action figures, that's a nice little transition, and it works really, really well with these guys. What's really fun about these figures from the Nendroid line is that they have so many different accessories and different eyes and expressions that you can swap out to add all this different character and nuance to them. That's super fun. It should be super fun. Retailing for the price of about $55, you need to get $55 worth of fun out of them. They're quite small as well. I think Sans is like 3.5 inches and Papayrus is like 4.5 inches, give or take. But they've got a lot of character, a lot of quirkiness, and if you want to pick them up, it's going to be around about January next year that you can get your hands on them. Alright, I was telling you about Sideshow raiding your wallets. Yeah, we're not done. First of all, they've shown us images of the 1/6 scale Hot Toys Batcycle. For $315, you can add to your Sideshow Robert Pattinson Batman the Batcycle. You're going to be able to kit out his entire garage. Garage? It's a car hole. So it's not just the bike. We're going to get to the next part too. But still, I think the bike and the car, for that matter, spoiler, the car's coming as well. So cool in that movie. I loved, the bike is nice and basic, but it's just Batman-y without having ridiculous wings or anything. Very, very awesome. And this is going to look very, very awesome with him. Oh yes, of course, this is going to cost a lot of money, but it's not going to be released until the second and third quarters of next year, so you got plenty of time to save up. And saving is what you're going to have to do because yes, Hot Toys have also shown a teaser image of their 1/6 scale Batmobile as well. This souped up Dodge Charger in 1/6 scale next to your other bike and Batman. Oh my goodness, it would look amazing. You're going to need a lot of space. That would like dominate a coffee table. But how cool would that look? We don't know any information yet besides they've just shown us this preview image. But it kind of gets the ball rolling. And they've done this before. They've done the Tim Burton Batmobile. Looked incredible. They've done the Christopher Nolan Tumbler. Looked stupid, but that's not their fault. that's what the tumbler looked like. So this, they should recreate it in their classic Sideshow style. It's gonna look amazing. I'm not gonna get it, have neither the space nor the money, but I will be envious of those who do, because you know it's gonna be badass. But if you want your Robert Pattinson Batman on a slightly smaller scale, you can get him through Mezco. They've got their 1/12 scale Batman, and he looks great. I'm saying everything looks great because it all looks great. That's the problem with collecting action figures. Everything looks so good. Mezco, they've got a great style and standard, and because it's this bat suit with armor plating and stuff, it's probably going to pass the sock test as well. This isn't like the Adam West pajamas he's wearing. He's wearing his badass Batman costume that has really just already, in my mind, become almost the perfect Batman costume. I would still like more color and differences to it. I think just plain black, come on, it's comic book. You don't have to be so realistic. You can give him some more Batman sort of stylings, but that's another debate for another day. Fact of the matter is, Mezco are applying their sort of go-to standard of accessories. Loads of hands, multiple heads, with the full unmasked Robert Pattinson head. So I'm guessing that cost more money to license his glorious visage? Probably. Worth it. Looks really, really great. Now, you know what Mezco is like. They sell out in freaking seconds. Believe me, I know. Never going to get that out of costume. But that means you can go and pre-order him right now, and then in 10 or 15 years, when he's eventually released, you can add him to your shelf. That does it for the toy news, but there's some extra stuff I want to talk about as well. First of all, the Obi-Wan trailer dropped on Disney+, and this looks like it might be better than stuff we've had before. I hope, jeez. Disney are not batting a good average with their Star Wars shows as far as I'm concerned. The first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian were okay, but it still felt like a bit of a slog. There wasn't enough of an overarching plot, and it just felt like it was okay in places, but I didn't really bond with it. And then Boba Fett, oh jeez Louise. It amazed me. I was chatting to a friend of mine who's like, oh, I'm going to go back and watch it again. I was like, why? Why would you do that to yourself? Oh god, I was so bored, and it was just not good. And I know I'm getting off track. What I'm saying is Obi-Wan might actually finally get that sweet spot. The clips with the Inquisitors and going off of Tatooine. We're actually going off of Tatooine. We're leaving the sand planet that we've been on for God knows how long. Because that's one of the things I was not looking forward to with Obi-Wan. It's like, oh, we're going to get to spend 8 more episodes in the desert? Yay! So no, we're going to some other Coruscant-looking kind of location. That looks really awesome. We've got these Inquisitors who look badass. Obi-Wan's probably going to be like, oh no, I cannot reveal I'm a Jedi. I won't throw down and kick butt with anyone. And we're going to spend the first few episodes going, oh, come on! Come on! Just let loose. So I think it's going to be really good fun. I hope. I've got high hopes for it. We're going to find out on May 25th, and I look forward to talking about it. Over in wrestling news, AEW is just killing it. They're just doing everything right. This most recent episode of Dynamite had turns and debuts and incredible matches and it's such a good time to be a wrestling fan. I went through all these different things that happened on the show and actually forgot that one of the biggest things was Jeff Hardy debuted. So he's passed all of his sort of wellness type checks that they needed to do, and he seems to be in good form and look in the business. He looks like Jeff Hardy. So I think it's going to be really fun to see the Hardy Boys have one last run together. There's so many different teams in AEW that they can mix it up with, and I think they're going to do a good job of not just having them dominate all their homegrown stars. I think there's going to be a lot of back and forth, and this could be a really, really fun last run for the Hardys, so that's something to look forward to. Speaking of something to look forward to, a trailer has dropped for a Ninja Turtles compilation video game collection, and oh my goodness, the nostalgia coming from this is just palpable. I watched it and I was like, there are so many games that I grew up with. I cannot wait to play again, especially Turtles Tournament Fighters. Absolute trash on the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive, but brilliant on the SNES. That was a version of a game where it was 2 very distinct versions for different consoles. And then there's so many other classic Ninja Turtles games, mainly, of course, again, not just the Tournament Fighters I'm excited for, but the classic arcade side-scrolling beat-em-up. Bring it on. Attach it to my veins. I will take all the Turtles gaming goodness. Cannot wait for this. If this comes out before I fly to Hong Kong, that will just eat up the entire plane ride. No problem. That's going to be great. There is no official release date yet, I don't think. Gosh, with the new side-scrolling beat-em-up Turtles game coming out soon as well, this is a golden time for Turtles video games. I'm really excited, so as soon as I get a release date and price, I'll let you know. But in the meantime, just go watch the trailer. It looks like so much fun. And finally, just very, very early word is that Amazon Prime are in talks to make a God of War TV show. This is just like the early stages, but very often when you get these rumblings, that's when things eventually happen. I remember talking about rumblings about a Last of Us TV show years ago, and here we are. It's very close to being at our doors. And a God of War TV show, that would be pretty wicked. I mean, if they did it like the game, I don't know if they could do it like the game. It would be very Game of Thrones. Lots of blood and boobs and all that good stuff. I would be down for it. I mean, bring it on. That's exactly my demographic. But it'll be interesting to see where they go, what they do. And I think maybe the Lord of the Rings show coming out might be a good sort of idea as to what studios are going to be willing to invest depending on what the return is like and all that kind of thing. So they might be sitting back going, let's see how Lord of the Rings does, and then we'll see about our own sword and sorcery mythology type TV show. But just the thought of a God of War movie, that sounds really awesome. More to the point, who do you think should play Kratos in a God of War movie? Bearing in mind it's probably going to be a younger Kratos. If it was the old Kratos, then yeah, Triple H, come on. We'll take you out of Mothballs, Hunter. Get back in the gym and we'll have you all dusted up and playing Kratos. But for a young Kratos, I don't know. Let me hear your suggestions. And folks, that does it for Good News for today. Thanks so much for watching. What did you think about all the various stories covered? Comment below. Let me know. And until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
This is Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots, saying that if you enjoyed this video, then you should like, share, and subscribe. But more so, if you want to go to patreon.com/displaying model behavior, you can watch all of the exclusive videos on there. Better yet, go and get yourself a model behavior t-shirt at teespring.com. Check the link in the description below. So transform and roll out. Cup of coffee. Big time coffee.